getting into the truth,
Okay.
looking differently.
Right. So I think vipassana means clear understanding. So
Clear
it's
understanding.
clear
Yeah.
understanding of the truth. So of
Yes.
course, the clear understanding of the truth has to start from the very beginning. So
Yes.
that
Yes.
it has to, from the beginning, there has to be the understanding of what is the truth, that there can be understanding of what is the truth now at this moment. Because before we heard the Buddha's teachings, we think the truth is, oh, I'm feeling tired, or I'm hungry, or I can see my friends. But then we learn that this is not the truth. The truth is there are just different nama
Yes.
dhammas, those dhammas that experience an object like seeing or hearing now, and those dhammas, the rupa dhammas, that cannot experience anything. So no I to be found, no I that is hungry, no I that can have vipassana, no I that can meditate, just different dhammas arising and falling away. Is this what you were discussing in Bangalore with Ajahn?
Yeah. This actually this way of explanation attracted us to join the discussion.
Good, good, because it's just about time. Sawadika, Ajahn Prakash from Bangalore was just telling us a little bit about his meeting with you and how his group were very uh, attracted or glad to hear more about the truth at this moment. And he mentioned they have a Vipassana teacher. So we were discussing a little more about what is Vipassana. And he mentioned that they are a group of meditators. So I was asking him a little more about what he understands by meditation. But anyway, I think they found the discussions with you in Bangalore very interesting, which is why they've come to listen more here. So very glad to welcome them. And do you have any other comments, Prakash? Anything else that you found different or significant or
Mm.
particularly interesting?
Ajahn way of teaching was simple but deep, and she was um, she was actually asking us to reflect and answer the question when we were interacting with Ajahn last week. That was really interesting for us, and she used to tell during the discussion, take small thing, go slowly, step by step, and that really attracted us. And Ajahn way of teaching to understand Abhidhamma was also quite interesting for us. So
Good. And
we want to continue interacting with Ajahn and practice and progress in the path.
good. And this is also the Buddha's way of teaching, just asking questions like, oh, what is seen now? Is it permanent or impermanent? Is it satisfactory or unsatisfactory? Is it my seeing or someone seeing, or is it just seeing which sees? So we have to consider for ourselves, not just listen and memorize, but really consider what is the truth now.
Yes.
Mhm. And you mentioned just now about listening and hearing more about different realities, one at a time, one word at a time, and practicing. So, why do you mention practicing? Is practicing different from understanding now?
Uh, I think practicing differently from understanding now, no. We want to keep both understanding and practice going hand in hand together.
Because can the understanding can it be at any time other than at this very moment? For example, at this moment now, we're in the Zoom discussion. Another moment, we're shopping in the market. But the truth that we mentioned earlier, or the insight you mentioned earlier, has to always be at this moment. So the understanding has to be now, not at another time when we're sitting with our eyes closed or special situation. It always has to be at this moment because life is just at this moment. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, yes,
Yes,
that's right.
always at this moment. Okay, let's see if Ajahn would like to add more on these comments or any other topics.
Yes. Shall we talk and discuss about the teachings of the Buddha? What did he say after his enlightenment? All dhammas are anatta. Is that right? All dhammas are anatta. Is that what he said after his enlightenment? But we have not yet understand the truth of Dhamma. Just the word Dhamma, what is it? See, some would say it's the teachings of the Buddha. But about what? What did he teach about? About the truth of each moment. Satya, Dhamma. Dhamma is whatever is real. It has its own characteristic, appearing to be understood, that it's just real. It's a reality. And that is the first of the Noble Truth, of the Four Noble Truths. The first truth is dukkha, Ariya Satya. See, if we don't know what Satya is and what is dukkha, how can we understand the teachings of the enlightenment, the ultimate truth of whatever is there, any moment, even right now? If he didn't teach about what is there right now, how can there be the understanding of this moment and the other moment, from moment to moment? What are they real? That's why it's not just dreaming about the truth, about vipassana, about anything, without any understanding of the truth of this moment as it is. Before hearing the teachings of the Buddha, who knows what is there now? And life is just in at this very moment, only one moment at a time. So what is life now, this moment? It's the moment of seeing. So is that life? Is seeing part of life or a moment of life? Because we were born to see, to hear, to smell, to taste, to touch, and to think about anything. After seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking about that which is there by shape and form as sign of something known, as people and things, but in truth, what is seen cannot be anything or anyone at all. Is that what he taught for 45 years? Abhidhamma, Sutta, Vinaya, all are Dhamma, all are Paramada Dhamma, the ultimate truth. It cannot be changed. Whatever is there is as it is. Nobody can change the moment when it's there to be different. So, what is real now? Did Buddha realize the truth and taught about that can be known, that is not permanent? Dukkha, Ariya Satya. Whatever is there, arising and falling away, never to return at all. Even seeing right now is there, just that moment of seeing, and then gone, never to return. So how can it be? I see, a dog see, a cat see, anyone see, because seeing just arises and falls away. Is that the meaning of the dukkha Ariya Satya, the first noble truth? Is that right? Satya Parami. Understanding the truth is panya, parami. Without the development of panya from the very beginning to realize the truth, it is not the teachings of the Buddha, but the understanding is different from ignorance. no understanding of seeing at all. Just dream to realize the Four Noble Truths, the first truth. But the first truth is whatever arises falls away, never lasts at all gone instantly. So is it pleasant from nothing to be something and then nothing again? So what's the use? What is the benefit of just arise and falls away? Just like before it arises, it's not there anymore. Is that what he taught? Is that the word of the Buddha? Dukkha, Arya Satya. Whatever arises falls away instantly. So very rapidly, very quickly, one after the other. So the arising and falling away of each one is covered up by the rapidity of the succession from moment to moment. Right now, this moment is not previous moment, it's not a future moment. Just one moment at a time and gone, from birth to death. Just born to see, to hear, to smell, to taste, to touch, and to think right now, isn't it? The truth is that whatever arises is conditioned to arise by its proper conditions. That which impinge on the eye base condition the seeing to see just that which is there impinging on the eye base. Right now, who knows? This is the words of the enlightenment. So what did Buddha realize or enlighten? The nature, the reality right now as it is. Seeing is just a moment, arising to see and then gone. Hearing is not seeing. Never be the same moment, different one. Different moment from moment to moment in life, from birth to death. Is that the teachings of the Buddha? Nothing is permanent. Whatever arises falls away instantly. But what is born and what die? No one. Only the reality which is born or arise to experience the object from the first moment in life. It's there. Just arise to experience the object. But the object of birth moment is not known because it's not the object of this world. It's not that which is seen, heard, smelled, tasted, and touched, so on. Each moment is different by conditions. Buddha taught the details of each moment and the conditions for whatever arises, so very in details. So that is the way to gradually let go, the clinging to what is there with ignorance and attachment, because no understanding of the truth that it's not there anymore, even right now. Is that true? Just listen, consider the truth. By then, at moment of understanding the subtlety of the reality right now, it's time to know who's the enlightenment, who's the Buddha, and what is his teaching about the truth of each moment in life. If it's not the teaching to understand the truth of whatever in life each moment, is that what we call and pay respect to as Buddha, the enlightenment. Is that true? To be true to the truth is such a parami. Only the understanding, the confidence of the truth of what is there as it is the only way to develop the understanding of each reality which arises and falls away in split seconds. So complex. What are there now? Many things. It seems like in a moment. But in truth, what is rare is just in a moment of split second moment. Is that right? Is this in the Tipitaka? Is it the Abhidhamma, Sutta, and Vinaya? just all about the ultimate truth of what is there as not self. All dhammas are anatta. That's why the teachings of the Buddha has to be stage by stage, levels by levels. So there are 3 rounds of the Four Noble Truths, the Four Arya Satya. The first round, understanding the truth of all 4 Arya Satya, Dukkha Arya Satya, Dukkha Samudaya Arya Satya, Dukkha Samudaya Nirodha Arya Satya, and the path, the Magga Arya Satya, leading to understand what is there so very close, which is there from head to toe. The world is there, seeing is there, hearing is there, thinking is there, liking is there, disliking is there. Whatever in life can never get away from head to toe. Is that true? It's not just to believe, but to understand whether it's true or not, to have confidence of the truth, that the truth is the truth. The moment of seeing is not the moment of hearing, and each different moment conditioned by different conditions. Seeing see different object. It can condition attachment or aversion by conditions. See, each moment can be studied, can be learned, can be developed, can be directly aware of its nature as it is, to let go gradually wrong understanding and the idea of something or someone or I right now. Is that the teaching of the Buddha? Or the Buddha didn't say anything about this moment? Otherwise, how can he become Buddha, the enlightened one, without understanding this subtle moment now as no one and no thing? Just Dhamma, different Dhamma. So what is Dhamma? It's a reality. How do you know that it's a reality? It has its own characteristic appearing to be known. That is saying right now. Everyone knows. Seeing sees that which is seen, which impinges at the eye base. It cannot be taken for anything, just one dot, one split-second moment of seeing. Cannot see the big house, the window, or the chair, or the bed, or the doll. It's just a dot, from dot to dot to dot to dot, until it conditions the shape and form, big or small, brown or red, and what we take for something by different shape and form. Is that true? Without color, different colors, can there be any shape and form to be taken for something? The shoe, the mirror, the television. See, is that true? It's not just to believe, but consider the truth now, this moment. We are talking about what is there as it is, realized by the enlightened one, the Buddha himself. After his enlightenment, what did he say? Dhamma is so very subtle, but it can be studied, it can be known, it can be realized. It can. How? Listening to the word about it as it is, to consider it as it is. Begin to understand the way it is little by little until right understanding is strong enough, sharp enough, deep enough to realize the truth of what is there right now, from moment to moment, by conditions, anatta, without someone or I can try to develop to concentrate, to meditate, to know what? Is that the teaching of the Buddha? So we have wrong understanding of the word meditation or meditate or contemplation or any word you use. Because it's not just sitting and doing something, concentrating without any understanding at all. Just want to experience something unknown. What is it? But it is not now to be known because it tried to do something to know something unknown. What is it? Is that right? To be truthful to the truth. Who has
Prakash, I think these questions that Jan's asking, it's helpful if you can reply to them, like when she mentions the Buddha taught that all dhammas are anatta, and she asks if this is true. I think it's helpful if you can respond. Do you have any comments so far?
Jan, I think we are trying to understand your teaching, the way you teach, and we want to listen this discussion today, and maybe at appropriate time we'll ask the question. And today, so far, it's true. Right now, right moment is the fact, and as you mentioned, it's a momentary. Even dukkha is also just a momentary. We agree. We agree.
And do you agree with what Ajahn mentioned, which the Buddha taught, that all dhammas, all realities are anatta?
Yes.
No
Yes.
I, no someone, no thing. So when
Yes.
we have the idea, I will sit and concentrate, or I will experience a particular object, it's not the understanding the Buddha taught about
Yes.
the seeing now, the hearing now as anatta, not I can do, or I will focus, or I will concentrate. So we're actually talking about, the Buddha was talking about the development of understanding, bhavana. Usually bhavana is translated as meditation, and people immediately have the idea, like you mentioned at the beginning, of sitting and focusing, following a practice. But bhavana actually means the development of understanding. So this is why Ajahn is stressing this moment, understanding the truth at any moment, because life is just now, and whatever Dhamma arises now is by conditions. It's anatta, not by I would like to experience feeling, or I would like to experience breath. But what appears now, hardness that is touched now, sound that is heard now, all anatta, not in my control or anyone's control. So this is the main point, that the truth is now different dhammas arising by different conditions, not in anyone's control, even for an instant. So bhavana means developing understanding of the truth, not I will focus on a particular object trying to experience a particular reality. So as Ajahn was saying, it's very subtle. Understanding dhammas is very deep and very subtle. Anyway, we appreciate that you're all listening carefully. So if Ajahn asks you any question, please help everyone by responding. So please continue, Ajahn.
are you ready to answer some
Yes, sir.
questions? Okay. What is now? What is there now?
What is now? Things just happening.
Kun Sarah, what would you say, please?
What is a thing? What is a thing that is happening? For example, seeing now, is seeing a thing that is happening, or is it a dhamma
It's Dhamma
now?
just happening. Hearing is just happening.
Hearing is arising and hearing is experiencing the sound right now. Yes. So
Yes.
it arises, it experiences its object, and it falls away. So hearing is now, seeing is now. What else is now?
Some thoughts arises and passing away in the mind. Some thoughts arises and passing away.
Okay. The thinking arises. The thinking is Dhamma. What
Yes.
about the object that is thought about? For example, if there's thinking about the friends on the Zoom screen, are they dhammas or are they just ideas?
That is Dhamma, I would say.
The thinking is Dhamma. The thinking arises, experiences its object, and falls away. But the idea that is thought about, oh, this one is wearing glasses, that one is not wearing glasses, this one has yellow in the background, this one has blue in the background. These are just ideas because of different memories of different
Yes.
colors that are seen. So
Those
these are
ideas.
ideas. So
Yes.
we learn to distinguish between the dhammas which are real, such as the seeing, what is seen, the color, the hearing, the sound, the thinking, and what are just objects in our imagination, like the faces on the screen or the glasses or the door in your background. Because of memory, there are ideas about doors and glasses. But actually, what is seen is just what is visible, just color. No door is seen, no glasses are seen. Likewise, what is heard now is just sound. The different words, the different meanings, the different ideas are what are thought about. So we learn about what is Dhamma now. So when you say things that are happening, this is an idea. It's not the understanding of Dhamma now, like hardness that is touched now is Dhamma. Sound that is heard now is Dhamma. But things that are happening is an idea. So again, it's subtle to understand what is true now, what is life now. So when Ajahn asked you what is true now, what is Dharma now, seeing is Dharma now, pleasant
Hearing.
feeling, hearing is Dharma now, but things happening is an idea. So gradually, by discussing, listening, considering, and reflecting, there can be a little more understanding of what are dharmas now, what is Dharma now, what is the truth now. No I, no things to be found, just different realities, like you said, which arise and fall away one at a time. At the moment of seeing, can there be hearing at the same moment?
Yeah. Both are hearing and seeing happens differently.
Different, okay. Different moments. At the moment of seeing, no hearing, because there can only be one moment of consciousness, one chitta. I think you use a similar word, chitra or chinta. One chitta at a time, one moment of consciousness experiencing at a time. At a moment of seeing, no hearing. A moment of thinking, no seeing. So one moment of consciousness at a time, one chitta at a time, experiencing an object and falling away instantly. So learning about different dharmas is for the purpose of understanding. No self to do anything, no things to be found, just different dharmas that can experience an object and those dharmas which cannot experience anything. So the dharmas that can experience an object are different namas, and those dharmas that cannot experience anything are rupas. But the ideas about things happening, and the people in the room, these are not namas or rupas, they're not dhammas, they are ideas,
Okay.
panyati. Okay?
Example, we
Please,
are looking at the laptop. That is an idea.
exactly. I am looking, we are looking at an idea, there is an I or a we at a laptop, another idea, because actually, at a moment of seeing, no we at all. The
So
visible
I am
object that's
looking at
seen,
you. I am looking at you. I am seeing you through this laptop. You is an idea here. Sarah is an
yes,
idea. Prakash
yeah,
is an
and
idea.
exactly. I is an idea, you is an idea, Ajan is an idea, laptop is an idea. In fact,
That comes
at this
from
moment,
our memory. That comes from our conditioning. That comes from our memory. Or the
it comes,
perception we build over a period of time.
yes, yes, it is from the memory. There is the thinking, and it's the memory again and again with ignorance and attachment over lifetimes and lifetimes, the idea of I and you and this one and this thing. But actually, in truth, no I or you or laptop to be found. So we can still talk about, oh, I can see you and use the laptop. Even the Buddha, you talked about Ananda and Sariputta and going to different cities in India, going to Varanasi, going to Bodh Gaya, and so on. But no misunderstanding that in truth there are just different dhammas, different nama dhammas, different rupa dhammas. In truth, no I to be found, no you, no laptop at all. But because of sanya, as you mentioned, sanya and ignorance, there is thinking about so many different ideas. And because of ditthi, wrong understanding, the ideas are taken to be the truth.
Okay,
So it
so
is the
laptop is,
understanding.
sorry, if I can I ask a further question here? So
Yes,
if
yes.
laptop is not a laptop, it is just idea. So what is it? Is it just a material?
So at the moment of seeing now, what is seen?
Scene of a particular object?
Is it a particular object that's seen? Or is that thinking about an idea immediately? Actually, it's just what is visible at this moment, just what is visible, or we can say color, but it's not a particular object yet. Because what is seen is just what is visible, just color. And so quickly there is the sanya, marking, remembering different colors. There comes to be the thinking about different shapes, different forms, and then the impression of different objects like computer and people through the mind door after countless moments of seeing different visible objects. So we're talking about the mind or thinking with wrong view when there is the idea of something there, a computer that is seen. Because actually, in truth, it's only what is visible that's seen. And at a moment of touching the keyboard, what is touched? Is it a computer or what is touched at the moment of touching?
Feeling.
Sorry?
Feeling. Touch. When we touch something, we feel something.
At the moment of touching, we can talk about feeling in a moment, but at the moment of touching, is there any hardness touched?
Okay, please excuse us. We are just trying to understand it. We
Yes,
are just beginner. So when I touch laptop, I feel hardness of the particular
hardness,
object.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
hardness is touched. Hardness is the object of touching at the moment of touching the keyboard. So hardness is a dharma. Actually, computer is just an idea because close your eyes. There's no computer that is touched. It's just hardness that is touched at that moment. Okay, Jonathan would like to say something.
Yes, just a couple of short comments. Firstly, when we talk about touching, when Sarah was talking about touching, what is touched, she was actually asking about what is experienced through the body sense. Now, the word touch in English can mean the action of touching, like you reached out and touched the computer. But there is experience through the body sense, regardless of whether we are doing any touching. For example, there is the experience of heat and cold if we are in a room that is hot or cold, right? So it's actually talking about experiencing through the body sense. And the object of that experiencing is heat or cold, or hardness or softness. So that's just one comment I make. And the other is that we've discussed a lot about concepts and how what we think we see is actually a concept of what has been a concept based on what has been experienced by seeing consciousness. Now, just to help us understand it more clearly, when there is hearing, what is the object of the hearing? Sound. So is it the object of the hearing is sound rather than voice or music or thunder or whatever, right? It's just at the first moment of hearing, it is just sound. And then it is recognized as words with meaning, or the voice of someone, or loud sound, and so on and so forth. And that is the thinking that follows the moments of hearing. And so it's the same with the seeing consciousness, the seeing experience. Seeing experience is just the visible data, light or color. We don't have an exact word for it. And it's thinking that forms the idea of people and things that are seen. And why is it important to understand this difference between realities and concepts? Is it important? Yeah, that's okay. Why do we need to understand the difference between realities like sound and visible object, and seeing and hearing, realities and concepts? Why is that difference important?
Because we get confused between both reality and the object.
Yes, yeah. And only the reality can be the object of understanding, of vipassana, of insight development. It is the understanding of conditioned realities, which is the development of the path taught by the Buddha. And these realities are at present unknown to us. Without hearing the Buddha's explanation of these realities, there could not be the beginning of distinguishing between reality and concept. And these realities cannot come to be known by trying to focus on them, because that is not the natural development of natural understanding. That is focusing on something that we think is a reality. So that's why meditation can in fact lead us astray, because we think we are focusing on sound or visible object, but it's just more examples of thinking about different things.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for this. Yeah.
Maybe I'll pass back to Ajahn for some further comments.
So, Avina Pavana, Dana, Sila, Bhavana, the Kusala moment. So, are we now Bhavana, at level of Bhavana, or not yet? So, what is Bhavana?
Question for you, Prakash.
Okay, yeah, I could not understand to answer.
Ajahn is mentioning bhavana. Before I mentioned bhavana, that is usually translated in English as meditation, but I mentioned bhavana actually means development of understanding. So Ajahn's question to you now is there bhavana now? She said, Are we?
Yeah.
Are we
Yes.
following bhavana now?
Yes.
See, no need to
And
sit.
Prakash, are you
Yes,
familiar
please.
with the term vipassana bhavana and
Yeah.
samatha bhavana? Yes, so this is the bhavana that Ajahn is asking about.
Yeah. Wisdom or panya, in that way, can I understand?
So vipassana is insight. Bhavana is development. And in the case of samatha bhavana, it's tranquility, development. So development here means the increase, the increasing of, not the actual conventional idea of development, which is a doing, right? It means the increase of understanding of the samatha kind or the vipassana kind. And we're talking in this session about vipassana because that is the discovery made by the Buddha at the time of his enlightenment.
Okay, I'm trying to understand this concept honestly.
It takes time.
Yes.
So maybe you can try to answer Ajah's question again.
Yeah, understanding. I'm getting to understand what is reality, and another one is a concept or idea. That is a understanding we are getting into.
So, is that Dhamma now?
Yes.
What Dhamma is it now?
Hearing, seeing.
Oh, okay. Why is a Dhamma?
It is just happening. It's just experienced.
Because it's real, is it?
Yeah. Okay.
It at moment of hearing is real. So whatever is real is Dhamma. And its sound also Dhamma.
Yes.
Why?
Sound. Yeah.
Why sound is
Yes.
a Dhamma?
Why sound is a Dhamma? Good question. Can experience. I have to answer. Yeah. We can experience. Yeah. Loud, speak loud. My friend says we can experience it.
Whatever is real. The
Yeah.
word
Okay.
Dhamma means whatever is real in different languages. In English, in Thai, and in Pali, Dhamma is whatever is real. Why is real?
Why is it real?
It's why it's real because it's there. Seeing there now
The principle.
seeing. Hearing
Okay.
is there now hear. Sound is there now heard. No matter what, whatever is real, it has its own characteristic to be real. Whatever is real is a Dhamma, right? So it's not a cat, it's not a dog. What is it?
That is idea.
When you see what you take as a dog or a cat, in truth, what is there? What is true? What is real?
Um, the cat or dog. It it is a just memory or the condition which
What
has built
is
over a period
real?
of time. By looking at this, we recognize, okay, this is cat, this is a dog, this is a donkey, this is ours, because of its memory, long time memory.
So seeing or seeing is a dog.
Seeing is not a dog. Seeing is just seeing.
So seeing is not anyone,
Yes, it is a
but
just image.
is seeing itself. And this is the understanding of the truth, the ultimate truth of Dhamma. Whatever is real has its own characteristic, right? Sound cannot be smelled, but it's real. Sound is real, smell is real, seeing is real, thinking is real, attachment is real, aversion is real. Whatever is there is real. So each day, what are there cannot be anyone or anything, only different conditioned realities arising and falling away from moment to moment, from morning to evening, different
Yes.
moments arising and falling away. Is that
Yes.
dukkha? Is that dukkha?
Yes. Dukkha.
And when one gets sick, is that dukkha?
That is also dukkha.
What is there?
Because the idea of I have a fever, I have pain, because of that we develop dukkha or we experience dukkha.
What is the nature of that we say sickness? What is its nature?
Is it suffering?
What is suffering?
One experiences uneasiness,
Yeah. Now we
maybe
are
both mind and body.
now we are learning about what is there each moment in life. Not far away at all. So close. So when there is unpleasant feeling, what is
Yes.
real? What is real?
Uh, uh, Unpleasant feeling. What is real is
This is study Dhamma. This is Bhavana. Begin to understand, developing clear understanding little by little.
okay.
So
Yeah.
what is there at moment of unpleasant feeling?
Pain or suffering or uneasiness.
Is feeling a Dhamma?
Yes.
What Dhamma is it?
Feeling Dhamma. Yes. Okay. Chittasika. Yes,
Okay.
feeling is a dhamma. It is a vedana chittasika.
Right. Because when we say it's a Dhamma, it's a Vedana Cetasika. What is Vedana? And what is Cetasika? Clearer and clearer, little by little. See, we learn about the word, you might remember it, but now no condition to think about it yet. But what it's learned, it has been learned before, right? The five Panchukanda. So is feeling real?
Feeling is not real. Feeling is real. An experience. That is also yes.
Unpleasant feeling, pleasant feeling.
Neutral feeling. Feeling is real. Feeling is a dhamma.
That's it. Because it's their feels, right? It's their
Yes.
happy, it's their unpleasant. So it's a reality. That's why we learn to understand what are there in life are different realities. Not anyone, not anything, nobody can make it arise because even we are talking now, there are seeings all the time. How come? By conditions. But seeing is a reality, feeling is a reality, hardness is a reality. No matter what is real, it is Dhamma. And whatever is there arising and falling away, seeing not stay long at all. As soon as it has risen, it falls away instantly. That's why all Dhammas, all conditioned Dhamma, Sankhara Dhamma, we learn to understand some word more and more, word by word. We learn to know what is Dhamma, and then what is there is conditioned to arise by many conditions. We learn to understand the 24 conditions, even we don't name it. But whatever arises has to have conditions for its arising. Paccaya, conditioned. So whatever is conditioned, it has to arise when it's there conditioned. That is Sankhara Dhamma. Learn a little more about Dhamma, and whatever arises, it has to be conditioned. So it is Sankhara Dhamma, conditioned by many conditions that we can learn later. But we know no one make it arise, but it's by conditions arising. To see, arising to hear. So whatever is real is Dhamma, and whatever arises is Sankhara Dhamma. Is that right? To understand Sankhara Dhamma, not just remember the word, but understanding what it's meant by Sankhara Dhamma. Is seeing Sankhara Dhamma?
Just 1 minute, Ajahn. We are our laptop battery has dried up. We are just putting the charger. Yeah.
So
So the question
now,
is the seeing is the Sankhara Dhamma? See. Yes, Ajahn. Seeing is the Sankhara Dhamma because
so
it is of because of the Vipaka Chitta. Basically, the seeing is happening.
we learn just one word at a time to have confidence and right understanding of the word. For example, Dhamma is whatever is real. No matter its sound, it's real, it's a Dhamma. Hardness
Yes.
is
Is the
Dhamma.
Dhamma.
So
Yes.
seeing is Dhamma and feeling is
Yes.
Dhamma. Whatever
Yes.
arises without its proper condition, it cannot arise. Without the eye, without that which impinges on the eye, seeing cannot arise. That's why whatever arises is conditioned by many different conditions to learn about it little by little later on. But understanding that no matter what, even seeing, it cannot just arise by itself or just by the eye, because when nothing impinges on it, the eye, they can never be seen. So even a moment of a reality is there arising, all by conditions. That's why another word for conditioned realities is Sankhara Dhamma. We heard many times about the term Sankhara and also
Yes.
Sankhara Dhamma, later on
Yes.
Sankhara Khanda, and later on
Yes.
Sankhara in Paticca more subtle, little by little. And this is not anyone, Abhidhamma, so very subtle and very complex and very deep. But it can be learned little by little. And learning to understand stage by stage is bhavana, the development of understanding from the very beginning. That's why we are not hurried to understand this and that, but to have firm confidence of the truth of anatta and Dhamma. So later on, no matter what we heard, it is Dhamma, Sankhara Dhamma. See, so now,
Yes.
no doubt about Dhamma, right?
Yes.
No doubt
Yes.
about Sankhara Dhamma.
Yeah, Dhamma.
She's asking. See, yes.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
She.
Kun
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes, Ajahn. Yes, Ajahn.
okay. Kun Sarah, would you like to talk a little more about the Nama Dhamma and Rupa Dhamma, please?
So first of all, I'd like to know what your name is, Prakash's friend. What is your name?
My name is Yogesh Gautam, and
Can I
yeah.
call you Yogish?
Yes, yes, that is correct.
Yogish for sure. Okay, so Yogish, sound. Why is sound a Dhamma?
It's a truth. It's a reality.
It's a reality.
It's a
Is it
reality. Yeah.
Is it a nama reality, a nama dhamma, or a rupa dhamma?
It's a Rupa Dhamma.
Why is it a rupa dhamma?
Because it is a property, one of the property of the Kalapa, Atta Kalapa.
No, it's a
Kalapa,
natural principle. Natural principle.
can a sound experience anything?
No.
Sound
No.
cannot experience anything. It is
That's why
experienced.
it's a dhamma which
Yeah.
cannot experience anything. That's why it is a rupa. Because
Yes.
kalapa means group. So you can talk about rupas arising together in a kalapa, a group, or even chaitasikas arising together in a group. But the reason that sound is a rupa is because it cannot experience anything. It cannot hear, it cannot feel, it cannot think, it cannot remember, it cannot experience anything. It's just a reality, a dhamma that arises and falls away, but never experiences anything. Is it true to say, as you said before, that any reality, anything that is experienced is a dhamma? Because before you said sound is a dhamma because it is experienced. But what about now when there is thinking about an idea? An idea is experienced. Is an idea a rupa, a dhamma?
Question.
Idea is not a dhamma.
Idea is not a dhamma. So we cannot say whatever is experienced is a dhamma. That is not
Yes.
correct. Okay, that was the point. So rupas are those dhammas, they're realities which cannot experience an object. But ideas are experienced, but they're not dhammas because they're not real. So nama dhammas are those realities that can experience an object. Seeing is a nama dhamma. Feeling, you said it's a chaitasika. Is feeling a nama dhamma or a rupa dhamma?
Feeling
is a Nama Dhamma.
It's a nama dhamma. Vedana chaitasika. So at the moment of touching the keyboard, we said hardness is touched. Can feeling be touched?
Feeling cannot be touched.
Correct.
Feeling, yes.
Yeah.
The reason I mentioned that because you mentioned before about Goenka meditation, and sometimes people have the idea that feeling is like sensation that can be touched all over the body, but this is not correct because, like you correctly said, Vedana is a chaitasika, it's a namadharma that experiences exactly the same object as the chitta it accompanies. So at a moment of seeing, when seeing experiences visible object, seeing is a namadharma, the visible object is a rupa. What about, is there any Vedana at the moment of seeing?
Yeah, at the moment of seeing, we can experience sometimes pleasant, unpleasant, or maybe a neutral. At the moment, we don't know. While seeing, we don't know. Yeah, we may not.
So
But
now
effect of seeing can convert into kind of Vedana, any kind of Vedana.
So there is a two type of feeling. Primary feeling when the phassa happens, it is a primary feeling, and when the sense object, eye object, eye consciousness, and the seeing, basically that contact happen, then seeing that primary feeling arises.
Okay, now we're getting back to our own ideas of I experience a feeling and there is contact and then I have a feeling. This is not the understanding of chittas and chaitasikas. At a moment of seeing, Vedana has to arise. Vedana is one of the chaitasikas that arises at every moment in life with every chitta. So at a moment of seeing, Vedana arises with the seeing, Phassa arises with the seeing, Ekagata, Sanya, other Chaitasikas arise with the seeing, and the Chitta and the Chaitasikas, such as the Phassa and the Vedana, experience exactly the same object, the visible object. So I don't experience anything because there is no I. So forget about the idea of I experiencing anything. No I. It's seeing which experiences the visible object. Seeing sees it. It's the only reality that sees what is color, what is light. No other reality can see the visible object. And without the Phassa contacting the object at the same moment, without Vedana tasting the object, without Ekagata focusing on the object, seeing couldn't see it. It needs the support of 7 Chaitasikas, and those 7 Chaitasikas arise at every moment in life. It's not seeing experiences, the feeling, or anything like that. No, the Chaitasikas arise with each Chitta and experience the same object, performing their own particular function. So this is why even one Dhamma like Vedana we have to consider carefully. And it's not at the moment of seeing, then there is contact, then there is feeling. The contact, the Phassa, even though it conditions the Vedana and the Vedana conditions the Phassa, even though they condition each other, they arise together, experience the same object, fall away together. Later we can learn about different conditions and how they accompany each other, condition each other to perform their functions. So this is Vedana arising at every moment. At the moment of seeing, it's a neutral feeling. At the moment of when there is painful bodily feeling, it's unpleasant feeling. So different pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feelings arise at each moment with each Chitta. And these different dhammas we're talking about, the seeing, the Vedana, the Phassa, the visible object, are they all Sankhara Dhammas or only some Sankhara Dhammas?
Some are Sankara Dhamma.
Because Ajahn was talking before about how any Dhamma which is conditioned and arises and falls away is Sankhara Dhamma. So seeing is Sankhara Dhamma. Phassa is Sankhara Dhamma. Vedana is Sankhara Dhamma. Visible object is Sankhara Dhamma. Only one Dhamma is not Sankhara Dhamma, but we don't have to discuss it now. That is the unconditioned Dhamma, Nibbana. But all the Dhammas in daily life are Sankhara Dhamma. And beginning to consider, beginning to reflect, beginning to understand a little more about different dhammas arising by different conditions, performing different functions. This is the beginning of bhavana. So bhavana is understanding, beginning to let go of the idea of I am seeing or I am feeling something, beginning to understand about different nama dhammas and different rupa dhammas arising by different conditions, all sankhara dhammas. So bhavana, as taught by the Buddha, doesn't mean needing to go to a special place or closing one's eyes or focusing on a particular object, but beginning to understand more about the truth of life, which is so very deep and subtle now. So I think everyone here really appreciates your considering and questions and reflections. So we're very glad you can join us. And
I have
maybe
one question.
Yes, please
I
go
have
ahead.
one question. Yeah. Is this Vedana Chittasika is conditioned upon Sanya?
It's a good question because Sanya is another Chaitasika that arises at every moment in life, arises with every Chitta. So at a moment of seeing, Sanya arises marks the object that is seen to remember later. At a moment of hearing, sanya arises. At a moment of thinking now, each moment sanya arises, marks and remembers what is experienced. So the citta and the cetasikas, they arise together and condition each other in different ways. There's one pachya, sahajata pachya, which means that they arise together and condition each other. So the sanya conditions the Vedana, and the Vedana conditions the sanya, the Phassa conditions the sanya. They all condition each other. The sanya cannot arise without the Phassa and the citta and the Vedana. The citta is the chief in experiencing the object, but it needs the support of all the cetasikas to perform their functions. So they all condition each other.
Yes. I have one more question. Can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead, Prakash. Yogesh.
Yeah, I may be jumping a little bit, but this because I have last week Ajan was here in the Bangalore, and I went through all those questions, though I was not there physically, but I went through all the recordings and others also. I am following Abhidhamma for last 1.5 years through various sources. This is the first time I came in contact with Ajan. So I have always been curious and not able to clearly demark the boundaries of these three basically the reality. One is the manasikara, another is the vitaka, and another is the and the third one is the phassa. What is basically the clear when the manasikara starts, when the phassa is all, and when the vitaka starts, is
Okay.
all of the three happens at the same time, or how they work basically?
Okay, good question. And actually, even I think last week, another friend here was asking about manasikara. So manasikara is attention, and manasikara is also one of the 7 cetasikas that arises with every citta. So it's not a matter of this one starting and that one finishing. Like I said about Phassa and Vedana and Sanya, they arise together, experience the same object and fall away. So Manasikara is another one. At a moment of seeing, Manasikara attends to the object. Phassa contacts. So Phassa contacts the object. Ekagata focuses on the object. Manasikara attends to the object. So at every moment in life, Manasikara attends to the object. When the citta is kusala, then it attends in a wise way, a wholesome way. When the citta is akusala, at a moment of attachment or ignorance, for example, then the manasikara attends in an unwise way. But in a moment of seeing or hearing, these are vipaka cittas, the result of karma. But still, so it doesn't attend wisely or unwisely, but it still attends to that object, which is experienced at that moment as a result of karma. So it's not a matter of phassa, then manasikara. They arise together with the seeing, with the hearing, and experience the same object and fall away. Vitaka is not one of the 7 cetasikas that always arises. So at a moment of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching, those cittas don't need vitaka to experience the object. But as soon as the seeing or the hearing has fallen away, the next cittas, even in the sense door process, need vitaka because they're a little bit stronger. They need more cetasikas. They need vitaka to touch the object in order for the citta and the other cetasikas to experience it. At a moment of thinking now, the thinking needs more cetasikas. Without vitaka touching the object, the citta cannot think about it. So not only does it need the sanya and the passa and the manasikara and the other cetasikas, it needs vitaka. And if it's wholesome thinking, it needs wholesome cetasikas as well. If it's unwholesome thinking, it needs unwholesome cetasikas like ignorance and attachment. So gradually we learn by considering different ways a little more, a little more. And as Ajahn stressed, the purpose is for the letting go of the idea that I think, I attend, I remember, I'm focusing.
I'm
It's
hearing
just
and seeing.
different cetasikas arising by different conditions. So let me see if Ajahn would like to add more, or Jonathan would too. Okay.
Just want to add quickly before Ajahn speaks again. You said you found it difficult to demarcate these various mental factors. These conditioned realities are not necessarily realities that will appear and be the object of understanding, because they do their job in a moment of consciousness. So it's not the conventional idea of touching or focusing or attention that we have. They have these names which have meaning for us in the conventional sense, but we have to appreciate that they are conditioned realities performing a function in a split second, and it's not really possible to really comprehend what that means, and they are not will not necessarily appear now or even when understanding is more developed. So as Sarah said, we learn about them because they help to explain how life can be happening without there being a self in control. But otherwise, they are not we should not have an idea of trying to figure out whether now is it attention that is being experienced or is it vitaka or what, this sort of thing. No, that's not why we discuss these different realities. Thanks.
Thank you.
Maybe Ajahn would like to add something.
Is there any question, please?
No, Ajahn.
So, what is there now? Again and again and again to be reminded. The answer can be anything that you have understood. What is there now? Any answer?
Seeing,
Hearing.
it's a
What
seeing,
changes?
hearing,
Okay,
touching.
just one at a time to have a little more understanding of the subtlety of the truth.
It's a
Seeing.
hearing.
Okay, shall we talk about seeing or hearing?
Yes.
Seeing,
Hearing. Yeah,
hearing.
hearing.
Okay, hearing. Close your eyes. Can there be hearing?
Yes.
So at moment of hearing it's dark, isn't it?
At the moment of hearing?
Yes.
Yes, it is a moment of
Ajahn
hearing.
said it's dark at moment of
It's
hearing.
dark. It's dark. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's dark.
And what about moment of smelling? Is it also dark?
Yes.
Smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, all in darkness, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So the truth does not appear as it is. That's why the truth is totally covered up each moment, not as it is. That's why learn to be truthful to the truth. What are they? Each moment in darkness, only a dot of light at moment of seeing only. It's not dark. But right understanding can understand whatever is there in darkness as it is. Ayana. Right understanding understands what is there as it is in darkness. So the world does not appear as when there's no understanding of the truth at all. That's why right understanding is so brave to understand the truth that the world is dark, but only moment of seeing is light. And what is seen cannot be any shape and form of anything yet. At the moment of seeing, it just experiences that which can impinge on the eye base. So very tiny, because the eye base is so very tiny, right? So many moments of dots and dots and dots to condition just a shape and form to be known as something. At moment of taking it for something, it's not seeing. See, that's the way it is. The following, the moment of experiencing one doorway to the other doorway so very rapidly. No one can separate it at all. No one. But the truth is the truth. So Panya begins to understand the very subtle truth that when it's sharp and clear and keen enough, it experiences the reality as it is. That's why learn to have confidence of the truth. That is Satya Parami. Each moment of understanding what is there, conditioned moment of kusala, because seeing the danger of akusala, even just a moment, it is added and added a little more ignorance and attachment and other kinds of akusala in a day, comparing to moment of kusala. That's why right understanding condition wholesome moments, and sometimes with understanding, and sometimes without understanding. But it is wholesome to see the danger of akusala. So now, while we come here and listen to that which is all around, just as simple as sound or hardness or anything, but that has not been known before at all, as it is, as it's there, only when it appears. It seems like there is the whole body from head to toe. In truth, nothing at all. Only one moment of experiencing an object and then gone, unknown, because the rapidity of the succession of the arising and falling away is so very quickly. That's why we live in the world of atta, always something, someone all the time. This country, that country, the tree, the flower, and so on. The world of idea, something, atta, until the development of understanding, the Four Noble Truths, the first round, understanding each reality as it is dukkha, whatever arises false way, but even so, by way of nimitta, of a reality, because just one moment of seeing cannot be experienced directly by panya, by way of process. There must be citta before seeing, and seeing falls away. Another citta does not see, but experience the same object. Because that which is seen hasn't fallen away yet, we learn to understand the truth, to let right understanding works its way. Because ignorance cannot understand anything, attachment covers up the truth, that what is then has fallen away, but it seems like it's still there right now. That's why be truthful to the truth. Satya Parami is so very important. The Bodhisattva developed Kusala Parami. Some life he might have break some rules or unwholesome moment, but not Satya Parami, no matter what. be truthful to the truth. So Satya Barami, conditioned by Panya Barami, keep on seeing the danger of ignorance and the benefit of understanding the truth. Otherwise, there will not be any moment of understanding the truth of that which arises and falls away in split seconds, right now, on and on and on, to be this evening and tonight and tomorrow. See, each moment just creeps on away from moment to moment, little by little, gradually, so very gradually. No one knows. That's why no matter who, in order to become enlightened, the Four Noble Truth has to develop right understanding with all kinds of wholesomeness, dana, sila, bhavana, until less moment of akusala and more moments of kusala with understanding. That's why there are many degrees of understanding. When there's no hearing about the truth at all, no one knows that life is so short as just in split second moment. That's why there is that word kanika marana. Marana is death, and kanika is momentary death. Exactly the same as death, because when death moment has gone, nobody as one now take it from my body, my life at all. New conditions, new moment, just follow this moment instantly. No time to regret, to be sorrow, to sorry about this and that at all, because it just in split seconds. Seeing again, hearing again, smelling again, different object, different idea from life to life, that's all. So it's the very precious moment, at moment of understanding the truth, even just a little, so very little about the truth. But it can be developed on and on, deeper, greater, more with confidence, on and on. Satya Barami, condition Viriya Barami, Kanti Barami, Adidana Barami, Nekama Barami, all kinds of Barami. Otherwise, ignorance and attachment is always there. Different degrees by way of asava, and then oka, yoga, and so on. Unknown the way they work, the kusala dhammas. See? So the Buddha taught about realities to be understood little by little, to be true to the truth, satya parami, little by little, in order to one day there are conditions enough to directly experience the truth unexpectedly. So anatta, even right now, each moment is anatta. No one knows what would be next moment, but it's there by conditions, pop up unknowingly until it pop up to be known so clear. No one there. And that's the teachings which lead to develop more understanding of the truth, less ignorance and akusla, little by little. That's why no matter how long it will take to develop understanding of this moment, see, it has to be understanding that which has arisen now, because it's there by conditions. So gradually the words of the Buddha enrooted deeper and deeper and deeper. That is so true. So it conditioned the wholesome character, being more friendliness, more friendly, with compassion, forgiveness. Life is so purer and purer because the saddha cetasika is there. Purify the citta and cetasika which arise together, not to have the akusala get closer or getting to there at all. See, is this right? Is this understanding? Not just doing something without any understanding, just hoping, wishing to experience what? When there's no understanding, how can it understand? What is there? Because all are dhammas, unexpected reality, unexpected moment, all the time, from now on and on and on. So right understanding from hearing, considering the first round of the Four Noble Truth. It has to be clear understanding, very sharp understanding, great understanding, enough to condition the second round of the Four Noble Truth. People do not understand the way it is, the three rounds of Ariya Satya, without any understanding, just expect to experience such and such. What about right now? It's not known. So it's there. Avijjasava, Tiddas Pavasava, Diddasava, Kamasava, unknown. The very Latin, akusala. See? So learn to understand the truth and be truthful to the truth. Satya Barami. It will condition other kinds of Barami too, to support the moment of having firm confidence of the truth. Never do anything because what is there just arise now, understanding that which has arisen right now. Is that right? Each word
Yes.
is so very deep because it's so very subtle. But at moment of understanding, it can understand that which is so subtle but can be understood. Not by thinking, dreaming, or doing something, but by hearing and considering. What are there at that very moment? No one at all. So what are they? Each citta has its own characteristic with different cetasika arising together, performing each different cetasika by itself. Because citta is the chief of experiencing what is there now. See, we don't talk about any cetasika yet, right? Just talk about that which sees now is not yet known as it is. It seems like there's no doubt it's a reality because it sees now, but what is it? Its characteristic is not attended to know that it's different from that which is seen. See, in life, is there any moment understanding the differences between the seeing and that which is seen? So it's time now to say goodbye. สวัสดีค่ะ